Hey, it's your boy Bobby B. So I want to talk about a subject that comes to mind, and that is the laws of power. When it comes down to it, this is a series I started a couple of years ago, but I now want to set out to finish it off, or at least add a couple of more chapters to it. Now, Law 5, reputation. Everything depends on reputation, protected with your life. Now, out of all the power characters who really cared about their reputation the most, I would definitely put that on Ghost and Tariq to some degree, and I'm gonna tell you why I say that. When it comes down to it, Ghost's reputation was everything. He was always protecting James St. Patrick. He was always making sure nobody knew about James St. Patrick. He only wanted James St. Patrick to be a businessman, a man who became successful, a man that became thriving. James St. Patrick is a man who's owned businesses in the cleaning services, and he's went from cleaning services to investments in other things, and then he ended up getting a nightclub, a hot nightclub that made him a lot of money, and it put him in the building with doctors, lawyers, judges, and some of the best and richest, according to society, in New York City. So the song Big Rich Town literally tells the tale of how this man goes from going from the streets to being at the very top of New York City. And the reason why is because he protected his reputation. He was the biggest drug dealer in New York, but the thing was that nobody knew, right? They only knew his name, which was Ghost. And with that being said, he protected James St. Patrick at all costs. The only time he ever risked James St. Patrick was when he fell in love with Angela, who returned to his life. Now, the thing is with Angela is that Angela, even when he met Angela again, he presented James St. Patrick, or Jamie, according to Angela. And so with that being spoken of, it's a situation that he was selling the businessman. He wasn't selling the biggest drug dealer in New York. He knew how to separate the two. It wasn't something new he came up with by the time we see him in power. This was something he always did. He always made sure James St. Patrick and Ghost were separated from one another, and his reputation was a good reputation. Even though he ended up going to jail for suspicion, and they eventually ended up putting his name and picture by the name of Ghost, they were never able to prove he was Ghost. And in the end, he ended up becoming the lieutenant governor of New York City. And so the reason why he was able to make these moves, though, was because he protected his reputation. Your reputation can even get a blow. Like you can have something on your record, you can become a criminal, convicted murderer, convicted anything, and still come back from that. So when it comes down to it, it's all about how you choose to be in your reputation and being what you're doing. Now, Tariq, on the other hand, his reputation means a lot to him too, because much like his father, he approaches things from a ghost persona. The thing is about Tariq is that he always wanted people to know him as a college student that, he's in canonical studies, which means he's trying to speed up his credits. He's trying to speed up graduation. Very smart, very intelligent. Tariq was always that type. But the thing is that as a student, he wanted people to see him as this guy who's, he works hard. He does a lot of stuff, has a lot of powerful friends, move in a lot of powerful circles. He's friends with people like the Westons. He works for Tate, Councilman Tate. And so reputation-wise, Tariq has protected his reputation altogether, to the point that there was suspicions about him being a drug dealer. There was suspicions about him being a drug lord, but they were never able to prove it. They put cases on Tariq. They tried to get Tariq several times, but they were never able to get Tariq. And so in the end, Tariq ended up still being the biggest drug dealer in New York, moving the way he did in Ghost. And so when it comes down to it, yes, reputation is everything. Now, Kanan didn't give a damn about his reputation. Tasha cared about her reputation. But it was a situation pretty much where a lot of people, they really didn't, care too much of if you knew who they were or what they did. Even Tommy definitely didn't care. But Ghost and Tariq definitely cared about their reputations. And that is the 5th law in the 48 laws of power. But I just want to say to all of you that it is your boy, Bobby B's here. Just want to say much love, much respect. Hold it down. And, peace.